Hello and welcome back once again to Viper Bites, presented by the Fantasy Points Media Group. Head over to fantasypoints.com today and save yourself 10% off your subscription using promo code Vipers22. Now listen, the Denver Broncos and their fan base, they are on a Rocky Mountain high, and fantasy managers, you should be too. Looking at the top 5 Dynasty fantasy football assets the Denver Broncos currently have, they are some good players here. I'm telling you what, starting with Javonte Williams. Currently, experts' consensus rankings has him as the RB5, the number 7 overall player. Whatever it costs to add Javonte Williams to your fantasy rosters, it's not enough. Even when splitting the backfield with Melvin Gordon last year, Melvin Gordon didn't do nothing to slow him down. Williams carried the ball 203 times for 903 yards, adding another 316 receiving yards on 43 receptions, which was good enough for RB15. While Williams is once again set to split touches in that Broncos backfield, it's only a matter of if, not when, Williams becomes a top 3 fantasy option at the running back position. Williams ranked top 5 among running backs with 200 plus carries there a season ago, with a elusive ranking there of 81.2, while also recording 0.29 missed tackles per touch. That's 53 missed tackles on 206 touches. Gordon is said to become a 29-year-old free agent at the season's end. And in the one game Williams had the backfield to himself, he saw a 78% snap share, carrying the ball 20 times for 102 yards, catching 6 more passes for 76 yards. Yeah, it's okay to get excited. Look at me. I am pumped about Javonte Williams' future, especially in fantasy football. Now, another young receiver here we're talking about for the Denver Broncos is Jerry Jeudy. Yes, get excited about him. You were once excited about him when he came out of the draft there, out of Alabama. You should continue to be excited about him moving forward. Now, I can understand why there may be a little apprehension there around him. Jeudy was essentially the kiss of death last season, especially for Courtland Sutton. But that was with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater under center. From now on, the Broncos will benefit from whatever Russ is cooking. Jeudy turned 23 years of age back in April and has accumulated 1,323 receiving yards prior to his 23rd birthday, which includes an injury-plagued 2021 in which he missed 7 games. Going back to 2020, Jeudy saw 113 targets there from Drew Lock, hauling in 52 of them for 856. Yes, 52 receptions, 113 yards is not good, but it was Drew Lock throwing in the ball. It's understandable. Even in the face of that horrendous quarterback play, that worked out to about 16 and a half yards per reception. Trust me when I say this, Wilson, he's a bit of an upgrade on both Bridgewater and Lock. Jeudy has always been a good route runner. If not good, you know what? He's been great. He's been a great route runner. And one thing Wilson does better than most is being able to manipulate the coverage with his eyes. The combination of that, the two of them there, is going to make beautiful fantasy football music. Now, we talked about Jeudy. Let's talk about Courtland Sutton here. Right now, the expert consensus rating here has him as the wide receiver 27 in Dynasty. Whether Nathan Hackett brings a variation of that K-gun offense or the West Coast offense to Denver, Sutton is poised to have himself a breakout season in 2022. Historically speaking, Wilson has been able to support 2 top 24 options in the passing game in fantasy. The combination of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are not all that different from Sutton and Jeudy. Fantasy enthusiasts are buying into the hype as well, while expert consensus on Fantasy Pros is that wide receiver 27 recently has seen him on the rise in underdog best balls, rising as high as wide receiver 16 in recent days. One thing people keep forgetting is that Sutton is now 2 years removed from that ACL injury, so a portion of his shortcomings from a season ago could be attributed to that recovery process there and poor quarterback play. On passes of more than 20 yards, Wilson's completion percentage was 18.8%, while Sutton had a PFF grade of 93.8 on such passes. Now, Russell Wilson is coming in as a QB9 in those dynasty rankings here. Wilson, he got his wish. He is out of Seattle. Now, after an entire offseason to recover from the surgically repaired finger, Wilson is ready to let it rip with a young stable of talented pass catchers. We already mentioned Jeudy. We already mentioned Sutton, but Denver goes much deeper than that with Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, and Albert O. Wilson is now 33 years of age, which is the new 23, it seems, as far as the NFL quarterback age thing kind of is concerned. We know there's plenty of more production for this signal caller who has finished inside the top 6 a total of 5 times, dating back to 2014. In Hackett's offense, look for Wilson to pick up where Aaron Rodgers had left off. Now, I'm not saying Wilson is going to become an MVP, but his weapons are certainly better than anything that Aaron Rodgers had to work with back in Green Bay when Hackett was running the show. Now, let's give you a deep sleeper here. Let's go deep. Let's finish this Broncos Fantasy 5 with KJ Hamler. Yes, Tim Patrick would have been another excellent option here, but I feel everyone already knows that the 28-year-old Denver receiver is one that is going to be a difference maker for the Broncos. But no one is talking about the 23-year-old wideout that has been giving some fantasy analysts some serious Tyler Lockett-type vibes. Right now, history is going against Hamler as he recovers from both hip and ACL surgeries, not to mention target shares of 10.8% and 12.8%, but that was before Wilson's arrival. Hamler may not be ready to start 2022, but his work in the offseason with Wilson could pay off as the season progresses. Adding Hamler is a move for the future and why he is an excellent fantasy asset moving forward. It's just these things here in the offseason you really need to be paying attention to. Who's working with who, how it's working out, and we know that Russell Wilson and KJ Hamler have been doing a little bit of working out on the side, getting that chemistry going. So if they're getting that chemistry going, fantasy managers need to see that and jump on that. And where do you get that information? Over at fantasypoints.com. So head over there right now, use that promo code Vipers22 and get that 10% off. And while you're here watching this right now, take a second, look down below, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification button, and make sure you are subscribed because we got plenty more content coming your way in the near future. Take care.